So in today's video, we're going to talk about diminished scales. A lot of students struggle with diminished scales. I remember myself struggling to play these in tune. And now I sort of have an idea how to best kind of approach them and how to teach them. As you know, there are three diminished scales: green, gray, and gold. I always forget which one's which, but it really doesn't matter. Just know that there are three because they are all separated by a minor third. So let's just start with one that starts on G, those four notes. And then starting again back on G, or we could start on G sharp. Okay, that's the next one. And that has B natural and D natural in it. And then, lastly, we could start on A natural. And of course, there are enharmonic notes that kind of get sort of switched around, whether it's A sharp or B flat. It really doesn't matter. What actually matters is just that they are tuned together. What you really need to know at baseline that diminished scales are just basically have no resolution. They go on in infinity, okay? And that's why a lot of composers use them to sort of heighten the tension, okay? But in order to tune them, let's just start with basically the tritone, which is, let's say, from G to the augmented fourth, C sharp, or D flat diminished fifth. Okay, that's right dead center of the two sort of G natural octave Gs. Okay, and it really needs to be dead center, okay, to be perfectly in tune. And then on either side of the tritone is the A sharp or B flat, and then the E natural after the C sharp or D flat. Okay, and now what you'll notice is that all these intervals need to really sort of agree and be in tune with one another, because you have relationships of a sixth that needs to be in tune, or you have a sharp to G natural or B flat, which is a sixth that has to be in tune with one another. So when trying to tune them, really just test them against one another, whether it's the tritone or the third or the sixth or the octave, okay? If you're playing a piece, just make sure they all sound sort of in consonant with one another, even though they're slightly dissonant to most people's ear. In addition to that, just make sure you're also practicing the other two diminished scales, doing the same thing, okay? Really important to work on these daily, to really tune your ears and floss out your ears, as my teacher used to say. Really listening to these intervals and really get them clearly in your ear so that you have no trouble finding them when you're playing a piece. The last thing I will suggest is use a tuner as a drone. You could put it on G natural, for example, and have that G natural running as you play this note, and then tune the other notes accordingly. Okay, and really listen and get it in your ear and make sure that you're fitting the puzzle pieces of other notes around that drone. Then you could use another note. You could use E natural, same thing. Okay, they all have to sound in tune with one another. That's most important when playing a diminished scale.